Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of OAF Discussions. I'm your host, Kid Swift. With me as always, Mr. Brent.
Doing it for the culture today.
Yeah.
Shayna.
Just be honest. All these things look like a Build-A-Bay.
And Webb.
It looked like he died, and it's like, well, I don't care.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of OAF Discussions. I'm your host, Kid Swift. With me as always is Mr. Brent. We got Bizarro Brent. Yay. Evil Brent. Evil Bizarro Universe Brent.
Tnerb.
Tnerb. Yeah. Just reverse the letter. Yeah, that works. That works. And of course, to my left, always Mr. Webb. What's going on, my brother?
I am dry now. I'm good.
Okay.
Good. Just got back from the rain is pissing me off a little bit.
Oh God.
I didn't even feel like getting up out of bed. Like I'm actually, let's see, what time is it now? Yeah, I didn't even get up till like 15 till.
That makes sense.
And then went to go grab something to eat. So
yeah, we're currently in our state. Obviously, for all those people who aren't from where we are in a perpetual state of just the most random fucking weather. Whether it's like amazing one day, and then it might snow or rain for fucking 36 hours straight. It's a pain in the ass. But with that being said, we're welcome back to another week. Yeah. We don't know what we're going to talk about.
I'm sorry, y'all. I really thought I had everything written down. I can't even remember what I wanted to talk about.
We'll come up with something. We always do. The kind of inside baseball thing that's been happening lately is we always used to kind of go into an episode and kind of time it out to hit like right around like hour and 15 minutes, like always.
Yeah.
And lately we just kind of been just going off the topics. And I feel like we had more like actual topics on a docket when we would try to limit it to that hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And we would always hit like right around that number. But now that we're just like, fuck it. Just, we've got topics, we'll figure it out. And now we're doing like hour 45 as you've seen. So it's funny that when you just go into it and just talk, it just fucking happens. So
yeah.
With that being said, we'll see what happens this week. But as always, we like to start off checking up on everybody's week. Brent, if you are available, we'll start with you, buddy. I don't know if you are. If he's not, he's currently.
Oh yeah, no.
Okay.
No. I'm still good. I'm still good.
I was gonna explain what you were doing if you were busy.
I mean, it'll only sound worse no matter how you explain it. But man, things is good. Things are real good actually. Right now, I'm just out here living that good life. Let me think. What else is really happening? Nah, man, life is good. Back on track with school.
Nice.
It's been raining a lot. House is doing good. Ain't nothing flooded.
It's always good.
You know what I'm saying? I had an interesting conversation with a cousin of mine's. Like,
oh yeah, we kind
of
talked
wants to be like
that.
A director, and she's already shooting films and movies and like other things. She writes and directs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that was something dope. It was something I didn't know about her. So It was like, hey, the younger generation, or she's only like 5 years younger, but the younger generation is, they doing their thing, man. I'm glad to see, well, I guess she's still within our generation, but she's doing her thing.
It was funny because I remember we were talking about it yesterday, and it kind of fell into the same thing where it kept coming up, like the film thing, and it kind of happened to you specifically twice. But when Jacob is on vacation right now, and he was at WB Studios, and he sent us back that picture and was like, it reminds me of our days. When he was talking to me, he said it reminds me of our days when we wanted to direct and stuff like that. And I was like, I guess I'm still in some way, shape, or form on that path. But Brent was like, I didn't know you wanted to do that. Talking about Jacob, it was really funny.
I did not know he wanted to be like a director and stuff like that. I mean, we've had conversations of like, I've talked to him personally about like wanting to write a play. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like write a play, but like direct a play. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. And we had nice convo, this and that, but never did I know that this man was really like, that was an aspiration that, at some point in time in his life.
Yeah, we had
or
those
at least an interest.
Yeah, we had those conversations. I mean, God, that's been forever ago, like way back. But yeah, we had talked about it, and that was funny because Brent was just like, "What?" Like, wait a minute, what? So yeah, but that's good. Sounds like everything's going gravy.
Oh man, everything's good.
Did we lose him? Brent. No. Well, until he gets back, he might have got a weird signal because he's not currently at his house. But with that being said, we'll see if he comes back in here in a minute. But until he gets back, I'll go ahead and just go into what kind of week I've been
around me.
Hey, what happened? We lost you for a second. Yeah, we lost you for a second.
Oh my goodness.
We completely lost you.
Were you still talking the entire time
until
we said something?
Yes. I was saying if anybody hears cats meowing in the background.
Okay.
And then a phone call came in, and then I apparently lost everybody. The cats didn't kill me. All right.
Okay.
Just let that the cats didn't kill me. Everything's good. I like how you all doing.
Okay.
That you just reminded me.
What were you about to say? Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look this up now. Do y'all remember this movie that came out in maybe it might have been, it had to have been early 90s.
Early aughts.
No. It was mid to early 90s. It was like a horror movie involving stray cats. It was it sounds, yeah. I remember watching it when I was younger, and then it came on again on some stupid or on one of them broadcast television shows where it's real late night, 2, 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
Where they'll play a movie that nobody really is
just play some random
watching. Shit. Yeah, they just play some random shit. Damn, that's gonna bug me now.
That's funny.
Stray cats.
Stray cats.
Horror movie about stray cats.
Okay.
And it's they were just all around this house. It wasn't like there was a curse or nothing like that. It wasn't like there was experiments gone wrong.
So it was a cat version of birds, basically. Well, there's no real explanation.
Yeah,
why these cats were just.
It was just they were just always around that damn this one specific house.
Okay.
They killed the people that used to be in there.
Okay.
And then they were starting to attack people that moved in.
Okay.
And then near the end is the family got out, whatever.
Right.
And then those end horror movie stingers where it's kind of going where's it? Oh, here we go again type of deal.
Right.
It was this couple sitting going and looking into the house. It's oh, this looks nice, honey. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's oh, look, there's a cat. And then and then credits. And I was like,
I like
1991.
Okay.
It was called Strays.
Okay.
Point blank period. It was just Strays.
Strays. Okay. That works.
That's coming back to me. Yeah, I was 3 years old when that came out.
That reminds me of that intro to the old Shitstorm intro to Super Best Friends, where the cat jumps through Pat's stomach.
Oh, okay, one of the one of the cartoons. They have one every year.
Yeah,
the cartoon.
Yeah, I think it was 4. So. I think it was Shitstorm 4, but yeah, because the cat rips off what's that space and then jumps through Pat's stomach.
Yeah, none of these people I see. Yeah, none of them see
Strays. So it was 91, you said?
Came out in 91,
God, there were some good horror movies that came out.
That wasn't one
good.
of them.
Not good. I should rephrase that. They were good in comedic material.
Yeah, that was some pretty dumb premises. You remember Maniac Cop?
That sounds very familiar. I'm trying to think of what
it was happened. Basically if Jason had a badge.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, it was basically if Jason had a badge.
Okay.
He would sit there, and I can't remember if it was he was out for revenge due to criminals killing him, or if it was some crooked cops or something like that.
Okay.
He started taking the law into his own hands.
So was he
he wasn't really a vigilante.
I was about to say, can you be a vigilante if you're already a cop? If you just start going AWOL, just start doing whatever hell you want to.
Well, I mean, aren't you just a regular cop if you're going AWOL?
Oh yeah, that's true.
You
Where's my
tea?
tea?
A vigilante. You just have to be off the clock.
Okay, right? Yeah. No, I'm saying on the job. Would that count if you just do some random shit?
Well,
but
I guess technically, if you break the law, then technically you would be a vigilante.
Yeah, that's
as long as you're breaking the law to, I guess, do somewhat good, or your premise is to do good. You're a vigilante.
So wouldn't that make you a regular cop?
That's what Webb was saying. He said, "Wouldn't that make you a regular cop?"
They're not vigilantes because they're not doing good.
What was that?
That's good. He said they're not vigilantes because they're not doing good. I like that. Man, it's like a Punisher situation. It's like how bad,
Bar cops, you keep doing good work, all right?
Right? Yeah. To all the ones that are doing good work, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Keep up.
Oh man, that's funny. But yeah, I remember some like ridiculous. I remember one that always stuck out to me, and it wasn't really. I don't know if I consider it bad, but now looking back on it, like the fact that it scared me as much as it did, I'm like, what the fuck was wrong with me? But then I was like, I guess I was like 11. But you remember House on Haunted Hill?
A little bit with Tay Diggs.
Yeah, with Tay Diggs.
Or the remake. Excuse me.
No, yeah, the remake. Yeah, not the one from like the 20s,
70s or something.
Oh, was it that? Yeah, it might have been. I feel like it was black and white. I feel like it was, but maybe it wasn't though.
Hell, maybe they did a remake of that too, and then it was like there was one from the 70s. I don't know.
They might have, but
Chris Kattan and why did that name come up?
Yeah, Chris
Kattan was in that movie. Yeah,
he was.
Tay Diggs too.
He was the helpful ghost.
Jean Grey.
Yes.
What was her real name?
Oh my gosh,
No, not Rebecca Romaine. That's Mystique.
Yeah.
Hold on. Anna Pack. No, not Anna Pack. That's Rogue.
No, all the X-Men.
Halle Berry. No, that was Storm. Damn it.
Name off all of them.
What was her name?
I can't think of it.
Son of a bitch.
Oh man, that's funny. No, but that movie was really scary, and the thing that I think made it so scary, which was interesting, is the I think Brent just exploded because I just heard bubbles from the Skype thing. The thing that I found interesting about it that made it so scary is the way they did like the camera movement stuff and the way the monsters moved, which that worked. That was one thing. I think it's like a secret sauce of a lot of horror movies is the camera movement and the monster movement. Because some of the creepiest things you think about when you think about horror movies is like The Exorcist.
Famke Jensen.
God damn it. All right. Good. Okay.
Oops.
Yeah, right. I couldn't think of it.
It wasn't that cliche late 90s, early aughts horror shit where like the camera would move really fast or blah, 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 and just kind of...
It was some of that.
Oh.
No, actually, I take that back.
I'm not...
I take that back.
Own up to your fears, bro.
No, here's the thing. I'll take that back. It wasn't... The camera wasn't doing that, but the monsters were.
Oh, Captain Barbossa was in there. Jeffrey Rush.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Ali Larder.
I feel like... what's it... Oh, God. I can't think of his
I'm
name.
looking at the cast now, but I'm sorry.
Okay.
But go ahead.
No, I was just saying I take that back. The camera wasn't doing that.
Okay.
The monsters were, and I think that's what made it creepy. So like the camera, there's one distinct shot that I remember that was creepy as heck, and it was just like it was basically like it was what I would think the Flash looks like to other people when he's moving really quick. But because basically what it was, there was like this very distinct scene I remember that was like super creepy, and it was like this weird like amorphous blob monster thing. It was like a humanoid monster, but it didn't have like a face really. It was kind of like melted-ish looking, but like the camera's like on one of the people. It's actually kind of funny at hindsight. It's hilarious when I think about the shot now, because like the camera's like the person's in a hallway. So imagine a hallway that hooks right, so a 90-degree angle. Mm-hmm. So there's a corner. So the camera's like on that person, like facing away from the corner. Yeah. So the person is facing the corner, camera's facing talent. So the person's like walking in the hallway, and all of a sudden they're like, "Hello, excuse me," because they can see something on the corner, like standing there, like right, like, but not on the corner, like just standing in the middle of the hallway, like Jason style, but like on the corner, like that picture of Shaq trying to hide behind that tree, like where it's like looking around the corner. And it just like the camera panned around to it, and it just like super like flash like speed like ran up to the camera, and it didn't like attack the camera. It just shook its head, like its head was just like, and it was so creepy looking. But looking back on it, it's hilarious.
I hated that camera style in the early 2000s.
But the thing was, the camera was static. It was the monster that was like shaking its head. So it was just like, it was like a weird, it looked like it would be like a
haunted house. Well, it was a haunted house, but it was
right.
like those.
But it looked like it should have been on, it almost was like it was on a track.
Yeah.
And it was just like a dummy that just like shook.
That's all I was expecting. That's all I heard in my head when you were describing that.
That's what the noise should have been when it got close to him, because that would have been hilarious. I want to actually dub that in and just make that like a GIF. Just that one shot. Like scariest movie moments completely just turned to nothing. But I remember that movie being really creepy.
Yeah. Shoot, that was that camera angle that you talking about, or not the camera angle, the camera tricks.
Yeah.
That you were talking about is kind of pissing me off because it's like it was almost all through. It wasn't even just horror movies either.
Yeah.
In the early 2000s, they did it with action movies.
Oh yeah.
It was like silly little over gimmicky tricks.
Answer that.
Horror movies, action movies, and even is he picking up or did you miss the call?
I think I missed the call. We'll see if it works.
I don't even know if that could. Yeah, could you hear that on there?
Can you hear that? Yeah.
But in my headphones, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's back.
Okay, we were talking about haunted. We were talking about scary movies, and
okay, I heard that. So.
Wade was talking about
With
corny. We were talking about the cornier, or trying to talk about the cornier ones.
Okay, there's another one that I can think of, and I know you remember this movie because it starred Shaggy.
Lillard, Matthew Lillard. Mm-hmm. Oh, 13 Ghosts.
Yep.
Yeah, with Rod Digger.
Yes.
And Tony Shalhoub.
Yes. I remember that movie was kind of creepy, but it was only creepy because of, I think it was creepy because of character design, not because of all the stupid other stuff.
Yeah, it's like, well, what's the name? It's like, how'd you lose your daughter in a glass house? Yeah.
It's so funny. I forgot Rod Digger was in that movie.
Yeah, she was the housemaid keeper.
She was,
deal.
wasn't she?
Yeah. Token black. Yeah.
That house was incredible. But yeah, there was some weird kind of quick movement. I guess it was just like you said, it was a sign of the times. Like they were doing something different where before, like when you talk about early Jason movies, all the monsters moved like Jason and stuff like that. They were very like slow and plotting, but somebody would always.
House on Haunted Hill came out in '59.
That's what I thought.
So 40 years later, they made the movie.
Right.
I'm looking this up now because you're making me think of something because they did that shit a lot in music videos too.
Oh yeah, the old fast motion thing.
Yeah. So now I'm starting to think.
Have you seen the 1999 video? Speaking of which, by Big Crit, they use a lot of that old school technique.
No, I keep putting it off, man.
Which actually made it good. Because it was obviously
a bit of a throwback
and
yeah. I'm starting to look up the directors now because I'm starting to think because there was at one point where a bunch of music video directors were doing films.
That makes sense. I bet you anything that 13 Ghosts was directed by Spike Jonze. I don't know why. I feel like that's true, but I feel like that 13 Ghosts was one of them.
Oops, no, damn, wrong house on Haunted Hill, son of a bitch.
But I think what was happening, at least in hindsight, what I'm thinking is a lot of the early horror movies, like leading up to that point, 70s and stuff, you had Jason, you had Texas Chainsaw Massacre. A lot of the monsters, most of the time, were like slow, lumbering. Somebody always fail, but they always managed to catch up to you regardless.
Yeah.
In like a very supernatural way. But then in a lot of these like early 90s, mid 90s horror movies, they made the monsters like have like superpowers, but that you saw. Like they would like zap in front of you or like do that quick dumb putty shit. So we'll just call it from that on. And I think that's what they were doing. They were trying to like every horror movie director was trying to drastically change the formula.
Yeah.
And everybody ended up at the same finish line with these very quick, very like rigid character movements.
Yeah, I was trying to look that up now. It's just like trying to look on House on Haunted Hill, and then I looked up Saw, where they did that a lot.
Yeah.
James Wan directed that one, obviously.
Yes.
I tried looking at the cinematography to see if it's the same person.
Yeah.
And you just like
that would make a big difference too.
But I'm seeing different people each movie I can think of that had that.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that we couldn't find an overlap on that. Like really, because you would think
you would. Dawn of the Dead was a big. That was directed by Snyder, wasn't it? Hold on.
Well, I think it. No.
Well, the remake, excuse me, of Dawn
Yeah.
of the
Okay.
Dead.
Yeah.
2004, Zack Snyder.
Okay.
He used to be he used to do music videos at one point.
Yeah,
didn't
he did. Yeah, he started out that way. Yeah. The same thing with like Shane Holbert did that too.
Different cinematographer, so no.
Okay. That was why, like, when we had something like, well, I guess it had some similar movement system and stuff, but when we got to like something like 28 Days Later,
Yeah.
it was such a jarring change to that formula of kind of like the artificial rigidness to like literally like this motherfucker's fast, just naturally faster than you are. So you got that kind of that shift, and now we're kind of changing again.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, all of his music videos that he's credited for were in the 90s. So
that makes sense.
Alexander O'Neill, Soul Asylum, Morrissey, Peter Murphy, Dion
Warwick.
2000. Yeah, it was like that'd have been easier.
Yeah.
I think it's Dion Ferris. Okay,
Yeah.
and then 2009 was the last music video he ever did, and that was with My Chemical Romance. So
okay, nice. Wait, which one did he do with My Chemical Romance?
he did Desolation Row.
Okay, all right. I mean, yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Yeah. So, but now we've gotten to a point where I think, hopefully, it changes again because I feel like most of the time, besides like a few exceptions, horror movies are the most difficult ones to get right. They usually, normally what happens, and we had this conversation before when we were talking about the turkey baster movie. We had this conversation before where we talked about that, where it was basically talking about how the biggest thing that we saw happen in a lot of horror movies was they usually fall apart at the end because you have like some kind of like.
Well, for Don't Breathe, the premise was kind of shaky to begin with.
Well, yeah, that one in particular had that issue. But for instance, what did you say? He just said, "Don't breathe."
Okay.
But the one, what I was thinking about was, now we got the new A Quiet Place.
Okay.
Which looks really interesting.
Yeah.
A very
Matter
unique
of fact,
concept.
John Krasinski,
he's director.
Yeah.
Yeah, and lead actor too.
Didn't he co-write it? Did he co-write it too?
I don't know. I saw this. I think he might have. But I think I remember seeing something. It was like light. It wasn't like it was pretty much mostly developed, and I think he might have helped like some stuff with like revisions and everything. But yeah, he directed it, and because he had a really good point.
And he co-wrote.
Okay, he did. Okay.
Wow.
That's
all right
awesome.
then. Michael Bay was a producer.
What? Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that works.
So shout out to John.
Yeah.
Or damn, what was his name in The Office?
Oh shoot, Jim.
Shout out to Jim.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody made a meme or sit there and posted it on Twitter. It was like a video showing when they were playing the quiet game. Mm-hmm. That little segment they did on The Office.
Yeah.
And then you just titled it A Quiet Place 2018. I was like, yo.
Yeah, that was funny.
That's exactly how he got the idea for that damn movie, too.
Yeah, I reposted that because it got messed up when when what's name ate that candy bar. And he was
yeah.
He was like, you have to say, oh, yeah, every time you eat the damn candy bar. Like,
and
really?
he did.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, I have to. He's like, it's just so good.
I got a question.
Yeah, what's up?
That Truth or Dare movie. Do you think that one's going to be scary? Or is that supposed to be a scary movie or just a thriller? Since it's Truth or Dare, but people should be getting killed.
I don't know. It's funny because a lot of times I feel like that like blends a line. Like nowadays, a lot of like if they do like if it's wanting to be a horror movie, it'll lean like that one seems like, and I haven't seen that much from it to be honest, but that one seems like it's going to lean more towards thriller than just like horror. I guess you could say in a more traditional sense.
Well, what would you consider the difference
between thriller and horror?
Yeah,
I mean horror can. I feel like horror has more room to kind of like flex a little bit to the more potentially fantastical or more you see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, okay. I just looked it up, the definition, or not a definition, but I just Googled. What would you consider the difference between a thriller and a horror? A thriller is more psychological.
Okay, yeah.
Which I kind of remember is that kind of works out, especially like with the sense of Get Out.
Yeah, right.
That was there was some horror elements to it.
Yeah.
But there was just so many themes that came in there, and so much symbolism that you could kind of sit there and just they called it a social thriller.
Right.
Go from there.
Which is interesting when you bring up those titles like psychological thriller. I mean, it's just like kind of doubling down on what the meaning is already.
Like ATM machine.
Right. Yeah, you're like,
it's already in there.
you already said it.
Yeah.
Like you're done. Yeah. So and I feel like horror, you can go nuts with it. Like you can have all kinds. You can have fucking crazy shit. You can have xenomorphs. You can have weird ghosts. I mean, you can have the putty man that we made up earlier. I feel like you have more room to kind of like flex outside of the realm of general reality when you think about horror. But at the same time, I think most horror is done well when it's grounded, which a lot of times that's usually the way it is. Now, some people, of course, when you get into more crazy stuff, like even in the more, when you think about like Aliens is considered a horror movie, but it is pretty far fetched. I mean, we're talking about a crazy alien xenomorph that doesn't exist, but at the same time, it's grounded in reality in a way that doesn't like.
In their own reality, they have their own rules set.
Right, exactly. And if the rules are established well, then that obviously lends itself to the story being better. That's why a lot of times, like I said, usually those horror movies fall apart because they get to a point where there was like, either we're going to end this movie or we need to rewrite the rules a little bit. Like we need to break our rules slightly in order to like we have to break our rules a little bit, otherwise nobody's ever going to be able to leave the theater because we can't end this movie because we're stuck in a loop of our own rule set that we've artificially created for this world that we built up.
Well, that's kind of a good movie would be able to bypass that. Well, not bypass it to where like they just kind of say, well, fuck the rules for this bit so that we can reach a resolution. But
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm saying a good movie would be able to either
they wouldn't have put themselves in a corner.
Exactly. Because like a lot of times it feel like I don't know from experience because I've never wrote anything horror. I've wrote stuff that's like more dramatic. But the thing that I would see possibly happening is that you kind of get into a thing where you create this rule set based on this monster that you've created or this whatever antagonist that you've created. Let's just say that to make it more broad because it could be whatever, a ghost or a killer shovel. Then you get that rule set nailed down and you're like, ooh, this is really good. And this works perfectly with my monster. And then you're writing the story. Then you get to the end, you're like, I gotta get out of here. Like, oh crap, how am I gonna get rid of him? I gave him like some crazy powers. Then I have to have the protagonist find like the magic dagger that just breaks all the fucking rules, and then at the end the audience is like, oh, get the fuck out of here with that shit. then it goes and falls apart. But I'm interested in that Quiet Place movie, but it's funny to see that shift and always kind of being on the fence because I've never been like, I don't go seeking out like horror movies. I'm not like a big like horror fan. Like I know there's people that are like, that's their shit.
Yeah.
But when one's good, you have to respect it because I feel like it's a hard thing to pull off. Same thing as like it's hard as shit to pull off a good comedy. Because if you can't write comedy well, it'll show real quick.
Yeah. Or you sit there and what you do is like you can't come up with the jokes, so you just have your actors do those stupid ass line-oramas.
Oh yeah.
Where they're just like improvising the comedy.
Yeah.
And it's just like you can tell it's just like, yeah, y'all didn't put any kind of thought into this. And like they just keep going and then they keep going. And it's just like, all right, we get it. Yeah. Fucking move on to the next scene. It's just like it's so lazy to me.
Yeah, it is.
It was funny, it was funny when it first came out, like with the like 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Exactly. Absolutely. But you got
I'm sure there's examples.
I know, right? Yeah. That's all I got. But you've got comedic actors and comedians that know how to do that shit. Like one of the most famous bits is that whole bit about how I know you're gay.
Which ended up being, or the extended version was an outtake. Oh, and Kevin Hart with Romani Malco.
Oh my God.
I almost called it Pop Copy.
Pop Copy.
At their own version of Best Buy, whatever the hell the name was.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, that's funny how they ended up working together later.
Yeah.
Was it Think Like a Man?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And then, yeah. But anyway, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to go a little rabbit hole like TV tropes.
It's funny.
With that shit.
Yeah. But yeah.
That's weird. That's weird. Talking about cats brought us all the way over here to this.
Yeah. That's usually what happens. It's kind of like it goes from there, and then we end up in some weird random place. Now,
welcome to OAF.
Yeah, exactly. Nailed it. Oh man. But yeah, as far as my week goes,
bruh, pump your week now.
No. There's some good stuff. There's some actually some.
I love how these weekly recaps get dragged out for like 30, 45 minutes.
I love it, man.
Into the episode.
It's so good because this week was interesting. There's been and it's kind of, we usually don't like to go political too much on the show because most of the time people are either sick of it or they're
looking for an escape.
Or
they just don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, that too. And I did have a good conversation this week, actually, with one of my reporters where I was talking about how it's funny in the wake of like where we are now politically in this country. This was actually one of the first major elections, and it might be just a sign of age as well, where I actually have become more interested in politics more so now than I ever have been. And I think it's a big result of, like, if somebody shows you a crazy magic trick and you see the results and you're like, wait a minute, how the fuck did he make that helicopter disappear? Now I want to learn magic. Like, it's one of those where the outcome was so off the fucking wall that you're like, okay, I need to understand this because I'm obviously missing something.
Okay.
And it seems to be valuable information that I could possibly have because if hopefully, like, as this show has shown you guys, we like to have somewhat intelligent conversations on some topics, but sometimes it goes off the rails. But with that being said, this week, as far as specifically in our state, and I know it's been happening all over the country, is we've been in like a teacher's pension budget and reform kind of like kerfuffle, for lack of a better term. Because we're getting to the end. It's spring. It's April, getting close to May, and we're getting to the end of like the legislative sessions. This is very inside baseball, obviously, for most of the local governments in our country. So the big thing that came up in the big argument that was going on this week, at least in our state, had to do with a lot of like teachers wanting to like protest and kind of go against what was going on because there was a big pension debate and a big budget debate, which there usually is, but this one in particular had a lot of stuff for not only teachers but state workers across the board, and a few other different aspects that were kind of changed things dramatically financially for a lot of people. So people were up in arms, obviously. Shout out to Devon for getting to do his slam poem about teachers in front of about 10,000 teachers out front of the Capitol. That was pretty cool to see. But one of the things that kind of came to a head, the kind of like fucking cherry on top, because we've always said, we've at least with people I've talked to and friends of mine, we have a diet version of Trump as the governor of our state. And I don't mean that in any particular way. I just mean that's pretty, if you want to compare, that's fucking perfect comparison. But he said something.
Like less flavor?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's good. I like that. Yeah. Yeah, that's very good. He said something on Friday after the whole, because like the teachers protested. They took off school in order to protest, in order to fight for kind of.
His name is Matt Bevin, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And
I was like, use his name.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
0 calorie Trump.
He said basically to the degree he got caught in an interview, not caught in an interview, he was interviewed. He was asked, can we interview you outside of the Capitol, and he was on his way in. And he said with all seriousness that he's always been against the teachers protesting. He's always been against the teachers like taking time off to protest and everything like that, which you can fall either way you do on the side of the fence of that. But he came out and said that basically he believes because the teachers protested and the schools were closed, that
within that time,
a day, that there were probably multiple students or children that were sexually abused, and that there were multiple students or children that were introduced to drugs for the first time because the schools were closed,
or being abused, or being physically abused, or verbally abused, or committing crimes on their own, or something like that, all within the span of the 8 hours that could have normally.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like that shit couldn't happen any other day.
What'd you say, Brent?
That man said kids are getting raped and trying crack for the first time. Like, that's what that dude was saying. Like, that dude said kids are getting raped right now.
Yeah.
What?
And it was
not rape, sexually assaulted. Let's not misquote him. Let's not misquote the dude.
Yeah, let's not misquote his insanity. But it was the funniest thing was we got back to the station after being at the Capitol all day and working on some stuff I'm
glad that wasn't you with the camera.
I wish I was there so much, because I would have had to stop myself from audibly laughing. Because I mean, I don't understand how nobody was like, "What the fuck?" Like out loud, like one of the reporters should have honestly been like, "All right, seriously though, like for real, like that's the line. We're supposed to be bipartisan, we're supposed to be non-biased, but get the actual fuck out of here, like seriously." Because I wanted to see his facial reaction, like. But I mean, it was just so funny. It was just so it just blows my mind when somebody says something that outlandish and believes it with every ounce of their heart and soul.
This is why, for comedies, you write the fucking lines and don't have the actors improvise.
No, exactly.
Because that was funny as hell.
Oh, it was hilarious.
But that served no plot, or that didn't serve the plot whatsoever.
No. And then he just walked inside like it was normal. Like, the thing that I was mad is I wanted to be able to see his AIDS face in the back. Like, I needed more people behind him. That was the thing that was like, that was the comedic stuff that, like,
the fact that he was so off in the cut a little too.
That's actually the side end. There's a side entrance right on the Capitol that's usually where a lot of them go in. Because they don't go in the front door. Basically, they can run in and out. Like, literally, his parking space is right there, so you can park and fucking bounce in and be at his office in like 2 seconds. But I needed more people in the background. I needed facial expressions. I needed, like there's been times where we've gotten stuff out of Trump where we've got like for instance, like the Buzz Aldrin thing. Like Buzz Aldrin's on the right when he's talking about like the men going to space and his facial expressions. Like, that's gold. That's comedic gold. Like, we needed more in the background. But it's just funny now, and what keeps happening now that's actually funny in a very passive way.
Yeah.
Is every news outlet around here just keeps posting it and doesn't say anything. Because they're just like, no, this really happened. You need to see this. Because you need to see this. And the other interesting thing that happened is, like, the day after, which would have been yesterday, Saturday, the House basically, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, that would have been Saturday. Yeah. The House basically, as a whole, this is a Republican-led House. He is a Republican governor. The House as a whole decided to condemn his words, basically, like saying, like, no,
that nigga's on his own.
Yeah, whose man's is this? Signed House of Representatives. And I just thought that was interesting because, like even it's getting to that point where, like, it was very interesting, like, going through that whole, like, the whole process, not just talking about what he said after the fact, because that was just, like I said, that was the cherry on top of, like, what the fuck? But through the whole thing of the pension and the budget stuff and seeing that firsthand of somebody who, like I said before, was not interested in politics at all, seeing it firsthand and seeing how much there's so much divide on both sides of the aisle, even when the person in power and the House is controlled by a specific party, they still, a lot of times, depending on, obviously, the person in power and what they've done, will still be like, no, we don't agree with him. I don't give a damn what it says in front of his name, Republican or Democrat, whatever, Johnny whoever. No, fuck that. We don't like what he's doing. We don't like him. We're not going to agree with him. So it's really interesting to see that. It's interesting to see in a way that kind of, which stems kind of where my interest kind of like started to build up, is because I wanted to understand what was going on and on both sides, because I never wanted to get in a situation ever again where you either misjudge somebody because they line up differently than you, especially politically, or you can't have an intelligent conversation with somebody who's on the other side of the aisle, because then that's where we get to a point where nothing fucking gets done. And that's pretty much where we are right now. It's just everybody just arguing, even though one party has most of the power in most of the states and in Washington.
Yeah.
But people can't just fucking discuss stuff and understand both sides, because they're all like, no, a lot of times we want to get this shit passed or we want to get this shit through because it'll be a win for us. Not what will it do for the people that put them there, but it'll be a win. It'll be a check on the wall. Hey, we won something. We passed bill. And that's a lot of things. A lot of times it's very interesting to see that and kind of just like, it's weird. It's funny. There's a lot of funny, quirky stuff about seeing that stuff firsthand too, that you're like, oh, like, yeah. But anyways, yeah. But anyways, political minute adjourned for that. But that was pretty much my week. I spent most of my week. I did that. Went to Frankfurt a couple times. Then also did a story way down in this county called Albany, Kentucky, which is like 2.5 hours away. Which was an interesting story.
I've never heard of
I know.
Albany, Kentucky.
This, for all the people that aren't from our state, this happens very often. You say County X, and everybody's like, what the fuck? Because we have more counties in the state than California. Take that into consideration. Take the two states, put them on two pieces of paper over top of each other, and try to figure that riddle out. Because we've got so many fucking counties in the state. It's ridiculous. I will tell this. I'll tell the story real quick, because it's kind of interesting, but we did a story on this gentleman that's receiving the Purple Heart posthumously. I hate that word. I always mess it up. But he was a gentleman who served in World War II. He's from Albany, Kentucky. He's finally getting the Purple Heart. It took like 15, 20 years for them to basically get them to agree to give him the Purple Heart. And it basically went through having to go back and research extensively the events that happened.
Research where Albany, Kentucky is.
Well, that too. Yeah. but like research what exactly happened. Get together like eyewitness accounts. You have to have all that stuff like down to a T, because when you give away a Purple Heart, it's not like a small thing. Like it's Yeah, it's the biggest award you can get. But apparently, this gentleman, small guy, small little dude, 5'7", from Albany, Kentucky, 140 pounds. This guy was. It was one of those things that was very interesting, because we got to talk to his wife, his son, and then we got to talk to one of his best friends, who was one of the ones that like helped kind of get it going. But the thing that was interesting was he was shot, wounded 7 times. By the time it got to the 7th time, they pretty much had him in the hospital, and he was like, "Look, you need to leave. Like, you're hurt. Like, you can't. Like, we can't have you this hurt." But he didn't want to leave. So they had tagged him, because what they used to do was they would like tag you like on your chart thing, like the same way they would like putting a tag on a body. They would tag you like, this one's going home. Like, he's going home, he's hurt.
Like on your big toe?
I don't know if they actually put it on the toe, but they would put it on the. I don't think they would actually put it on the toe, because they'd be like, "Could you get this shit off my foot, please?" But they would put it on like your chart.
It's
like
very dehumanizing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm still alive here, sir. Get that tag off my toe. But they would put it on your chart, like, "Hey, he's going home. He needs to be discharged. He's been injured way too many times." So, anyways, he was in the hospital in France. I'm pretty sure is where he was. Yeah, he was in France.
World War II?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we got World War II. Yeah. What did I say? Did I say something else?
No, you said the process took almost 20 years. So I figured it was like, Gulf War or something?
No. 20 years after his death. He died in 98. So they started the process like after he died, because when he was alive, he didn't want it. He was like, I don't want to like go, because everybody was like, "Dude, you need to go for this."
Yeah.
And he was like, "No, because then people feel like I'm bragging." He said, "No, I'm not worried about it." So when he got to his deathbed, it finally got to a point, and his friend was like, "Dude, do you like seriously? Like, we need to do this."
All right, if you niggas will shut up, then sure.
Yeah, and then he passed away in 98, and then they've been working on it since then, pretty much almost exactly like since then. So, anyways, he was in the hospital.
Yeah.
Was injured. One of his last times being like injured. So his battalion, like that he was with, was stationed within like it was nearby. They weren't like crazy far, but they weren't close, especially because it was France. It was the middle of winter time. It snows like fucking crazy. So he decided to sneak out of the hospital and go join back up with his crew. So he did that. He found his stuff, snuck out of the hospital, fucking left. Joined back up with his crew. His captain was like, bro, like, what? I thought you were gone. Like, why are you still here? I thought you got discharged. And
I
he's like,
still
nah.
see your toe tag.
Yeah, right. He's like, damn it, I forgot to take that off. But anyway, so it got to a point. So what actually got him? One, the fact that they were like, really, dude? But he went back. Like I said, he was a very small guy. His specialty was in intelligence. Mm-hmm. Like, that was his thing. So we were in a situation in France. There were two lines. They were basically, we were pushing back and forth. I forgot the exact name. It was I think it was the Calmer, I think is the way you say it, pocket. It was this very specific, like, part of World War II where we were just going back and forth with the Germans, like, trying to push them back. They were trying to push us back. It was tug of war for, like, forever. So what happened was we knew they had, like, I think like 8 of their like crazy, like really nice tanks and about 250 to 300 infantry guys that were coming towards this guy's battalion. So they was like, okay, that's fine. We've got 8 of our tanks and we've got 300 people. We're going to send them after them. Fuck them. We'll fight them. So the problem was though, there was this river. So they send the tanks across the river, too much weight, bridge collapses, all the tanks fall in the river. So they're like, so they're like, oh shit, like even with the infantry basically matched up, those tanks will fucking wreck us. Like we won't be able, like even if we take out all their infantry guys somehow, we can't. What, we gonna poke the tank with the like we can't do anything. The tank will just blow up. So they were like, shit, like we need. And the thing was, they didn't know exactly where the tanks and stuff were. They knew they were coming. They had intel that was old. They had to figure out like where they were at least. So our dude from the hospital had just gotten back from limping his ass like miles to meet up with his crew. I was like, all right, I'll do it. So he takes I guess it's I want to call it, I know it's a better name than this, but Morse code wire, whatever. The wire to like send out Morse codes and send out stuff.
Yeah.
He took that and just ran into the woods and just started running to where they thought they were. So he gets within like a few hundred yards of them, gets down in this ditch, and just starts calling in airstrikes on the tanks and the battalion. Starts wrecking them. Like, they just start shooting because the boats are like shooting. What's that called? It's not airstrikes, but it's the big ass fucking missile launchers that are on the boats. I don't know. I'm terrible at military stuff. But he starts calling in strikes, like calling in the coordinates, like they're here, bam, bam, bam. They just start bam, bam, taking out all the tanks, taking out all of them. They get within like 50 yards of him, like right, they were close to him.
Yeah.
So the last thing he does, which is like the kind of thing that pushed it over the edge, especially for the Purple Heart thing, is because it's like the whole thing is like doing something in the face of like you dying, but you still are doing it to try to help the whole instead of just yourself. So they got within the close range of him, so he called an airstrike on like on his coordinates. He was like, you see my coordinates where I'm calling you from, bomb it, like now. Because if you don't take them out now, they're gonna get past and they're gonna get to my guys that are back. So he did that. Thank God it didn't kill him. It took out took out a few more, like took out basically the tanks. So they fucking bounced. They were like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why these bombs keep hitting us, but we're leaving. So the Germans turn around and leave. And then he went back and met up with his crew, and that's why he got that was like the thing that put it over the edge for the Purple Heart. So I was like, that's some movie shit. Like,
yeah, pretty much. I was thinking of
it's great.
I thought of Forrest Gump for some reason.
I know, right? Yeah,
the part where he outran a airstrike.
Yeah, exactly.
With holding Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah, exactly.
But
yep. Yeah. So yeah, that was
Army First Lieutenant Garland Merle Connor. Is that correct?
That's him. That's him.
Well, shout out to Lieutenant Carter.
Yeah,
Connor.
Merle.
Lieutenant Connor.
I now want to read about this now.
Yeah, apparently there was, and I forgot his name, but apparently there's another guy that they've made a movie of already because he did a very similar thing. Like he got basically cut off, but he had communication. So he just like started like, he basically like hunkered down and hid and just started calling in like airstrikes. Like, and basically took out a time. I forgot his name though, but they were in the same, these two guys like knew each other.
Okay, it was like same unit. It was
Yeah, they weren't in the same exact unit, but they were like they knew of each other.
Yeah.
And they knew like this guy was from Texas. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay. Well, he'll probably end up getting though.
Yeah, I assume they'll have to do
more.
something. I would assume so. But yeah, there was another off the record story that the guy told us that was really good too, which they couldn't get it confirmed because there was no record of it. I could see why there wasn't any record of it, but it was one of those that was like, okay, if he did that, that's a little ridiculous. but no, it was awesome. It was great. Every once in a while we get to do like those really like where we have to travel really far and like do like a story like that. But it was fun. But yeah, with that being said, how was your week? Oh God.
Well, I didn't have to leave a hospital or nothing like that, or sneak out of a hospital.
Right.
But I didn't even realize how behind I was on Atlanta until Monday.
I've seen the first episode.
Oh, you haven't seen any further?
Was the Cat Williams the first episode?
Cat Williams' first episode.
Yeah, that's all I've seen.
Man.
Yeah, I heard it's
this season is.
Yeah, I heard it's ridiculous.
Oh wow! Like they have upped their game this season.
Oh God!
Because I didn't realize I was 2 episodes behind. One time I fell asleep early because I was like sick.
Yeah.
And then I just finished working out, and I was like, all right, I worked out, I cooked. I'm not doing shit else. I went to bed early. I went to bed early.
Yeah.
And so like Monday, I had a surprise. I was like, oh, I got 2 episodes waiting on me.
Yeah.
And one was like where Paperboy, what is his real name?
Oh man, I forgot his name.
Shit. It's something normal too. Like it's just it's like a super normal name too.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck it. Paperboy was due for a haircut.
Oh God, that haircut episode.
Yeah.
I've heard that. I've seen this one commented on like the most probably of everything. Like as far as like, it seems like everybody keeps like bring like the joke through line, which I haven't seen.
Yeah.
It seems like everybody keeps like this one keeps like getting brought up.
I'm surprised that one. Okay, because
yeah.
Well, yeah, it was kind of funny. It was very irritating. It was really irritating. I was like, okay, look, this is not worth it.
Yeah.
I was like, no, this is just not worth it. And then near the end, it was just kind of going like, it was like the little stinger at the end. It was just kind of going like, maybe it was worth it. It was like, yeah. But that was a trip. So that would have been funny in and of itself on its own.
There was a clip I think that they posted, and it was just of the barber guy, like trying to explain to, I guess it was his mom, like why Paperboy. It was like something like why Paperboy, and Paperboy was just sitting on the couch, like
he was. I think it was his baby mama.
Okay, yeah, and he was like, I don't know. He said he was like basically putting all
like
of it on
bullshit
Paperboy
story. And then he just looked, and he was just looked like he was
like whatever.
He just went with it. It was like, dude, just whatever, man. Yeah, he's right. Sure. But she could tell he was bullshitting.
Oh yeah, so, yeah, absolutely.
But that would have been dope in and of itself, like on its own, if I had just missed one episode.
Right.
The episode immediately after that one was Teddy Perkins, where it was like a solo Darius episode.
Okay.
And if that episode doesn't win an Emmy, I don't fucking know what to. I don't know what to tell you.
Is that from the? Is that?
I just read a story.
Is that the episode with the hat?
Oh yeah, where at the very beginning it was like the southern made, and then he sit there and with his marquee.
That's so good.
With a Sharpie, sit there, put it to where it says "You mad."
That's amazing.
That episode.
That's incredible.
It is I don't know if it was like that because I was watching it on demand or really honestly I found no way. I think it just went completely without commercial.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because normally, on the barbershop episode, there was commercials.
Yeah.
And on the episode afterwards, like when I watched it on demand, there were commercials. But for the Teddy Perkins episode, it was just the entire way through, and it even overrun a little bit.
That's interesting.
It's like 35, 36, 38 minutes total.
That's interesting.
And it was, I don't know if it was because Darius, who was played by Lakeith Stanfield, also did Get Out.
Yeah.
But like the elements between Get Out and the Teddy Perkins episode were so damn parallel because he was in it.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God. This it went from funny to okay, this is weird to okay, this is a little unsettling to oh shit, I don't know what's gonna happen here. It's like and then like the ending was just like wow, that happened.
Yeah. Okay.
So if that episode needs an Emmy, off of that.
It's interesting because I think we're in the midst of watching one of the. I mean, it's gonna go down in history as one of probably the greatest, like, the most well written shows and well acted. But like the writing is so insane. Like you don't like we talked about before. It's really hard to write comedy, but it's really hard to do what the fuck they're doing, which is. It's comedy, but it's painfully real. It's so grounded in reality that it hurts, and that's what makes it so funny. Because you're like, and I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people attached that barber episode because they was like, I've been in this situation before.
Well, hopefully not that damn elaborate.
Hopefully not that insane. Like that's a little bit more embellished, but they know that guy. Like that, and absolutely. Yeah, it's God, man.
And then I ended up watching the last episode.
Nice.
Well, I still end up having to watch it like after the fact, like Friday morning or no, I kept trying to watch it a couple times, but I kept getting distracted. And so every time I would sit there and try to resume on a different device, it would start a few minutes way further back than where I was originally.
Then is that the episode with him with Lakeith and the girls?
Oh yes. It was. I almost called her Domino. Damn it! What is her name?
Oh God,
Zazie Beetz. Yeah, well, but the actress, or the character's name?
Oh crap! What is her name?
All I can think of is Ern Darius Paperboy. I know his real name, but I can't remember it now. Old buddy with the waves. I forgot his name.
Yeah.
Fuck it. All right then. But anyway, it was like where they pretty much went to go to what they thought, or pretty much Drake's party.
Yes. Right.
Because that came out immediately after the Teddy Perkins episode, I was on edge.
Okay.
Just for the fact that just kind of things were set up as like, okay, it's girls' night.
Yeah.
They got to go. It's a secluded location.
Yeah.
They gotta. They have to have a secret code to get on the bus.
Yeah.
And then the driver sitting there just looking back, there's like, I'm gonna take y'all home with me. And then while he was rolling up the partition, he was like, just kidding. And then I was like, oh.
So funny, man.
And then when they had some drug gummies, one of them like got a little too high, and she ended up laying down.
Yeah.
And like Zazzy's character was sitting here, just say right here, I'll be right back. I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
I was like, no, not like don't. It's like don't take it this far.
Here's the thing. Yeah. Here's the thing that I think works really well about this show, especially because a large portion, and it's kind of bleeding out.
Yeah.
A large portion of people that are really fans of the show and really respect and understand and are appreciative of the show are also fans of Donald Glover's / Childish Gambino's.
Wait, they're the same person?
Oh no! What have I done? It's like just cancel, just turn the episode off.
Wait.
He said, "Oh." But the thing that I think works really well is because we've laughed, enjoyed this man's creativity for so long. In some ways, you have some kind of like understanding of who Donald Glover is. So when you see certain stuff, like you said, the way that the watching those two episodes back to back makes you feel, you know, in the back of your mind, and then this situation where the girl's like passed out and you feel like bad's gonna happen, you know in your mind that not only Donald Glover, but the rest of his writers are smart enough to respect the viewer's intelligence, that they're gonna understand and have that emotional reaction.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing that makes this show so good, is it respects the viewer's intelligence, and it also respects the fact that the viewer respects Donald Glover and understands / expects that, yeah, this is something Donald would put in there because it's funny and it got a rise out of me. It invoked a reaction out of me.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes it really, like, it puts it on a fucking another level. Okay. Because a lot of times you're not in that situation. A lot of times you just go into a show where you're like, this is a good show. Like, I like the show. Like, for instance, I'm watching On My Block.
fucking show's amazing. I've had to go in after the fact and look at who's writing it, who all's writing, which it's a basically completely diverse ethnic writer's room, because it's telling a very specific story where that experience has to be injected into the show from somebody who's experienced it through those lenses. With Atlanta, we went into the show knowing who the creator and the mastermind is. So it's like you already kind of have like I don't even know, it's kind of like this extra little thread of like information or experience, even though you don't know what's going to happen in the show. But when you see something play out a certain way, you're like, I know what Donald's doing. No, come on. Yeah. Like you have that feeling, which it makes it even more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, it's funny with the Vanessa, what's her character's name?
Yes.
So it was funny, like with the Vanessa-centric episodes. Well, I love
that last one.
I love how
the first season.
Everyone is starting to get everyone is getting more shine.
I like that, yeah.
This season.
Yeah.
And with the Vanessa-centric episodes, it was always weird. Just kind of like with the last season, there's always like this one weird-ass character that just looms way longer than they need to in her show or on her episodes. Mm-hmm. And they're not as... They're Vanessa's episodes are usually the more grounded, it seems like.
Right.
They're not as funny as like the previous ones, or they're not as funny as the ones with Earn.
Yeah.
They're not as like... relatable as with Paperboys.
Yeah.
They're not as off the wall as like a Darius
Yeah.
episode, but it's always the more grounded. It's always the kind of like just shit that's just real as far as shit you could relate with, like the problem she had in last season.
Yeah.
As far as like, well, what am I doing with my life? As far as this, where is this relationship going? Where is my career going compared to my friend here who's living it up?
Yeah.
And then for this episode, it was kind of along the lines of, it was funny how her seeing Earn on social media pushed her to sit there and put herself in situations she really didn't want to be in to begin with, just so she could sit there and show off and kind of make him jealous if he just so happens to look at his timeline.
Right, absolutely.
And it kind of, as far as that whole theme throughout the entire show or that entire episode was wild in and of itself too, especially kind of go like, Darius having his own freaking Morpheus moment in there. It was just kind of going like, wow, that's pretty fucking deep. It's like, I was like, this ended up being like, what came across is like, this is going to be like a superficial shenanigans type of episode where it's like everything's just going to go wrong.
Yeah.
And it still kind of does.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's just like, as far as like just the commentary on it.
Yeah.
And go from there. And it's even funnier too, because like I didn't realize, it was like what my initial thought. Let's see, my initial thought with Robin's season was like the entire time I thought it was just going to be like each of them coming across different situations where they got to bypass people sitting there trying to rob them because it was like it was near Christmas time. Then it was near tax return time.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going on at this point of the season.
Right.
It's just like, wait a minute. So pretty much there's this Robin season any other time, like every other time pretty much is what y'all are talking about. Right. As far as like, it wasn't just the holidays.
Yeah.
It's kind of almost, it seems like, but if you notice, like if you pay attention to each episode, they're kind of connected.
Yeah.
As far as with the title Robin season, you just got to put thought to it. I don't want to spoil too much.
Right, absolutely.
As far as to try to draw the connection. Maybe we'll talk about that near the end once everybody gets a chance to watch it and go from there. So yeah, Atlanta, I forgot Legion.
Oh yeah.
Came on.
Yeah.
So I got to catch up on that.
Yeah.
I'll get to that at some point. What else? I got back into that drawing course. I am rusty as fuck.
With drawing,
oh my god, man.
It,
Well, trying to start with a lead pencil was probably my first constant mistake. Throughout the entire throughout the entire class.
Sure.
Never again. Matter of fact, after this, I'm heading over to somewhere where get some stationery.
Nice.
I didn't even realize I was out.
Very
Yeah.
Nice. Gotcha.
XXX Tentacion with his album or mixtape or whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
Question mark.
Yeah.
It's not. It's a question mark. I don't know what the hell it's called.
Yeah.
It is emo as fuck.
Oh yeah. I forgot. Yeah, we didn't talk about this because I had listened to it too a while back.
Yeah, he makes me think of shit. There was a certain rapper he reminded me of. It was like it was like a rapper. Fuck, I can't remember his name now. That just binged Kurt Cobain and Evanescence.
Yeah.
For like 3 months straight.
In a dark room.
And then was asked to release an album.
Yeah, that's good. That's actually perfect. That's a really good analogy. Yeah.
It is. I mean, there's a couple tracks I like on there, especially "Sad."
Yeah.
The shit with Joey Badass.
Yes. Yeah.
The joint he got with Joey Badass. With the exception of that intro.
It was weird.
Where it's in the talking about
that was weird.
Getting AIDS.
I think so. Yeah.
Where it's like willing to get AIDS for this hip hop shit or something like that. I was like, what?
It's like, why though? Where's that? Why?
I love that vibe.
Yeah, I love that too. Yeah.
Why?
I use it all the time. Yeah.
Oh my god. I tried listening to Nicki's 2 songs. I thought the Chun-Li shit. I thought it was like an album, or a mixtape.
That's what
I thought. I thought it was, how lately artists have just been dropping shit like RKO's.
Yeah, just here we go.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah. My God.
But no, she just released 2 tracks, and
yeah,
I'm not a Nicki fan, so I don't even know why I bothered.
Me neither.
I don't even know why I bothered.
What was the second one called?
Chun-Li.
No, the first one was Chun-Li.
Oh, sorry.
The second one, like Barbie Tings.
Like Barbie Tings, yeah, Barbie Tings.
So that one was like, I don't know if I'll even want to listen to it again. Like I didn't hear enough of it to make me want to be like, I need to catch that song over again. Mm-hmm. Like the beat was so.
Yeah.
I was like, Chun-Li that's the one it reminds me of Go-Go. So.
Gotcha.
But
the genre Go-Go?
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah. You mean like Go-Go? Like
like the DMV shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Interesting.
Huh.
Yeah, the beat reminds me of something Go-Go. So,
okay.
Like, I feel like I should be in Vegas seeing people in cages dancing when that beat comes on.
You probably could. If you went to Vegas.
Most likely.
Wasn't too crazy impressed with the song, but
no.
So these are 2 off the album, because I read something that her album was done,
okay,
but she didn't release it because she wanted to let Cardi B get some shine.
Okay, I can see
so
that.
I've heard, yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah, I was sitting there looking around because I also heard people sitting there saying she was taking shots at Cardi.
I know. I knew that would probably come up, but I was like,
I tried listening to it. I couldn't find it.
No, they're just assuming is the thing.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Just
making drama, where it doesn't exist or something like that. I will
tell you, it's funny. I always am more. I don't even know how to explain it because it's. I guess it's art direction. I'm always infinitely more interested in Nicki's art direction as a person, I guess, than her music. Person. Like for instance, I really like the Chun-Li cover thing, like where she like has like the buns and stuff. Like that's cool. Like I like that design, that design. Which I mean, when you're talking about a person, it's weird because she's not a character, but she kind of is a character. Like she does weird stuff.
Is a character.
Yeah. And then like the cover of the Barbie Tings thing, like that scene is like that's very interesting. Like I like the design of it, but then the music I don't like as much. It's weird. Yeah, it's weird because I'm like I respect what the stylist and the designer and the person that like staged this and the photographer. Yeah. I can see what they done and respect it and like it. But then the music and I'm like, fuck, like no, that's not enough. It doesn't match up to the hard work the photographer put in, which is a weird thing to say. It's so strange.
Oh, the video's already out?
Huh? No, I was talking about like literally the stills from like the promotional
the design
stills.
And all that.
Yes,
okay,
exactly.
Okay.
That's why it was such a weird thing to say art direction on a person. It's weird.
Well, I mean, yeah. Yeah.
But it works.
But somebody who did show off their own unique direction was they got the Beehive going crazy.
They got the world.
Oh, Coachella.
You know what I'm saying?
Beyonce at Coachella.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Baychella is what I keep seeing everywhere.
Yeah.
one of the people on Twitter, because I had to ask. I didn't see the performance personally. Apparently, it was 2 hours.
Yeah.
It was like late. It was like super late in the morning.
There's the last one. Yeah, it was like she was the headliner. So
Beehive people, they don't care. That,
of course.
You know what I'm saying? They will wait their pregnancy off just to see Beyonce. But I asked on a scale of
I'm surprised Shayna ain't jump in.
I know, yeah.
She's on mommy duty. So, but I did get an answer from her.
Oh yeah, what'd she say?
I asked on Twitter on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the average performance of anybody else, as a 1, a 10 being they need to erect a shrine to Beyonce and no one perform on that stage.
They retire that stage. They just leave the stage in the middle of the desert and just put a statue of Beyonce on it.
You already know what Shayna was going to pick.
Nobody can use that anymore.
Oh, no. What do you think Shayna's going to pick?
She's going to pick a 10.
She's going to pick a 10. Okay. Well, so the answer I got back was
15. No, I'm just playing.
Let me make sure I quote this right.
Okay.
Oh, drum roll.
Yep.
All right, and this is from Ray from the Black Astronauts podcast.
Okay.
At This Zeta's a Jerk.
Oh yeah.
She writes personally, I think this should be the last Coachella, the last festival ever.
Jesus Christ.
Shut it down.
Yeah, nobody else can perform. Y'all
all right. And then Shayna responds back with, remember that time Britney Spears had to perform after Beyonce doing the entire Lemonade album at the VMAs?
Right.
Any performance after Coachella is going to be like that.
Nobody.
And I had to ask, I was like, wasn't that the concert that put Britney Spears in retirement? Like, wasn't that the performance that put Britney Spears in retirement? Yeah. Everybody was like, yep.
That's funny.
So apparently,
everybody's got to retire.
The performance was so good that Coachella should just close down now. They need to. That should be the last. 2018 was the last Coachella, according to members of the Beehive.
Now, I will tell you this. One of the thing that I found not interesting, but one of the things I really liked, the reunion with Kelly and Michelle. That was great. Does anybody know what band that was? Because they were awesome.
I didn't watch it. I was knocked. Okay. I was asleep.
Because I was trying to figure out what band.
All girls?
What'd you say?
They're all women?
No. It was like a marching band. It looked like Grambling or somebody like that.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah,
she did her whole probate.
Yeah, it looked like Grambling or somebody like that. That's what it looked like. But the other thing that's interesting, speaking of shutting down Coachella, that I found out about, apparently, now I don't know if like it works for the headliners. I would assume somebody like Beyonce would be able to like flip them the middle finger and say "fuck you." But normally, a part of like the normal performers, a part of the contract when you perform at Coachella is you can't perform within 1,500 miles of Coachella for 5 months after you perform at Coachella.
Like a
it's like
a non-compete clause.
It's like, yeah, exactly. It's like an exclusivity thing. Like you're only going to be able to see such and such
for the next.
And basically that stretches from Cali to pretty much Colorado. So like you're not going to be
for half a year.
Yeah, exactly. And that's part of the contract thing, which I thought that's really fucked up. Yeah. I don't like it for the artist.
Exclusivity, yeah.
But that's really weird.
I don't mind it. I don't mind that.
See, I don't like it because that's fucking up. That's messing with some people's money. Like, what if, like, for instance, like Brockhampton, like, wanted to get a show like in Cali next week, they couldn't. Like, it would suck.
But you signed a contract.
I know.
But Coachella's kind of a big thing, so
yeah, fucking yeah.
5 months where you could go do other tours. You know what I'm saying? You could tour and do other things for 5 months and then come back after the contract's up.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, 6 months, you know.
Yeah, it's not.
It's 5, 6 months. Yeah.
So. I would immediately. You better rearrange your calendar. Like that's what that sounds like to me. You better rearrange that calendar. Like, oh, we was going to Nah, we not. We going overseas for these 6 months. Like, you better rearrange your calendar. And take these
do like
fans you just made.
Yeah, do like the East and then just hop on a plane and go overseas for like a few months, tour over there, and then come back. You're good to go.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I got that. I don't see that as a big problem.
Yeah. So very nice.
Plus that makes Coachella like we bring the biggest things. You know what I'm saying? Like we bring biggest names. Because now they're like, it's a blackout over here. Like, you want to see him, you're gonna have to come. You're gonna have to come here.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't mind that. It makes their own demand.
Right. Yeah, but so far, I mean, I've seen some pretty good performances so far. I need to go back and like watch. The fact that they stream it like that is really cool too. Like, I like that. Like, I wish more festivals did that.
Yeah.
But that is pretty cool to just like where you can literally just like sit in front of your fucking TV with YouTube on and watch everything. And it's really well done. Every performance is like, I mean, it's shot amazingly well. But now, I guess headlining tonight is Eminem, which is not going to be anywhere close to what that was, but it could be interesting.
Or how it would have been, what, 16, 15 years ago?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how people, I mean, I think obviously people will still be.
People still.
Oh, yeah, they'll still be packed, and people will still be excited about it because, I mean, there's still like plenty of diehard Eminem fans that will be there. But at the same time, it probably won't, I mean, it won't have as much fanfare as it, like you said, it would have had like 15 years ago, but I think it's still going to be potentially dope.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Okay, last couple bits. Yep. I finally ended up getting a smartwatch. I was gonna sit there and just get like a regular ass heart rate monitor.
Yeah, like a Fitbit or something.
Like a Fitbit. But then I was like, oh well, hell, just for a little bit more, I can sit there and just get a Samsung thing. Yeah. And so I just decided to do that.
Nice.
I didn't tell Keisha.
Wait, which one?
I didn't tell Keisha until until she just saw me walking around, and all of a sudden just waving my arms around, and it's like she was. When'd you get that?
Oh no! I like the fact he's like talking with his hands. I need to go. Like, we need to get out of this house. So they're just like, "What's on your arm?" Oh,
wait, about that.
He's trying to do the Wakanda like. Walk.
Yeah, it's like, no, it wasn't. No, don't worry about it. It wasn't it was my credit card. It wasn't anything joint. It wasn't anything joint. So don't worry about it. This is increasing my credit score. Don't worry about it.
Is it the same? Right? Yeah. Is it the same one that Brent got?
The Gear 3.
Gear 3.
Yes.
Okay.
Nice.
Classic or Fit?
Well, wait. I got the Gear S3.
Okay. So was it the classic version or the what they call it, Flex or Fit?
Fit one.
4-tier. Or Frontier.
No, there's like a.
Oh, so there's classic, and I guess was the other one called Frontier?
Yeah.
Okay, I ended up getting classic.
Oh, yours is like luxurious.
Not real. Well, it's not.
It is the Bentley of watches.
No, it's a little more like business casual look to it.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
It'll go well with a suit.
Yeah.
So I got the other one.
Yeah, I need to switch the band.
Okay.
For when it comes time like for working out and stuff, because I don't want to do I don't want to be sweating in leather.
Like the rubberized band.
Yeah,
Nice.
I have to get that separate at some point.
Oh, it came with a leather band?
No. I'm going to look into getting like a
the Fit.
No,
band.
no, yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, it did have a leather band.
Yeah, his came with the leather.
Show
band.
it off in the camera. Show it off in the camera.
You ain't gonna see it very well anyway. So
I think he's talking about the wide camera.
well, no, still even then. Oh, the Wi-Fi camera or something like that. Yeah. So
yeah.
I like that.
Okay, I got you.
I like that.
Okay. Well, I wasn't even trying to. I just wanted to say it. I didn't want to stun or nothing like that. So
he said, "Let me see if
it's like it's a classic, man."
Show my watch off. Hold on. I gotta stretch.
So I don't know. I was toying around with it a little bit, and so I don't know. We'll see what happens after this Vegas trip. So.
I had the Fit one, literally the Samsung Fit, like a while back. I really liked that one. It was simple. It showed you like basic stuff as far as like notifications, but it mainly was focused on the Fit side of it. The only reason I got rid of it is that was when I was still working in a warehouse, and I always felt like I was just gonna like bump it up against shit like constantly because it had that glass front. But I could have got the protector for it, but still, I felt like I was gonna crack the shit out of it.
Yeah, I feel like I probably should do the same.
Yeah, but yeah.
So WrestleMania was last Sunday after this episode. It came out. It was like 7 hours long, 7 hours long.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I
was like, Jesus, man.
Yeah.
Went to get groceries and like.
I feel like have they gotten longer?
Certain pay-per-views.
Okay.
The bigger ones like Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series.
Okay.
Those are their big four.
Okay.
Anything else in between, whatever. Like
right.
from 8 to 11.
Yeah.
But for like those big four, they usually start at 7 or in this case, WrestleMania like 5 o'clock Eastern time.
Man.
and just ugh.
Yeah, I heard it was good though.
It was good. It was good. A lot of the people I was rooting for did not win.
Oh, okay.
And that surprised me for a bit. And I was like, well, that don't make sense.
So wait a minute.
Well, I mean,
not lining up to my.
I mean, that's fine. I mean, that's fine.
Right. Yeah.
But that I would have liked that better. It's like
I heard Ronda killed it. Her first.
Yeah, that was actually probably the match of the night.
Yeah, that's what people were saying. People were saying Ronda's match was like that was.
Yeah, because she showed out. Nice. Obviously, I mean, because you forget she's an Olympian.
Yeah.
Gold medalist.
Yeah, she's
in judo and got a wrestling background.
Yeah.
So that worked out a lot, especially when you're working with another fellow Olympian, Kurt Angle.
Yeah, exactly. You can do some dumb shit.
And you got a veteran like Triple H in the match, and you got Stephanie McMahon, who's who you were just waiting for her to get hers.
Yeah, exactly.
Like for years, she kept emasculating men and sitting there just slapping them.
Yeah.
They couldn't do shit because she's a woman.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, I'm a strong woman. It's like, no, you're a bitch. That's all it is.
Right, yeah. Like you're literally
you are masquerading behind you're masquerading behind the women's revolution and this, that, and the other, and going like, look, I'm progressive and proud and strong. It's like, no, you're not.
Right, yeah,
you're not.
You're a really bad
and then
person.
she finally got her comeuppance.
Nice.
And like the build up for the match and the build up for her to get her comeuppance, it was like, finally, after 3 years
that's great.
of no one being able to shut her up or shut her down, we finally got a woman to sit there, come in and sit there and just fuck her shit up.
Yeah, that's great.
But yeah, that was match of the night, honestly. There was some good, there was some decent other matches
I like
too.
the John Cena gif we got out of it. Him running.
Oh, and then falling?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. And then the random cuts to him throughout the night of him just in the audience.
Yeah.
So random.
It was a wee bit hokey. His acting, man.
Oh, yeah.
When he's trying to be dramatic. Well, it's a combination of him wanting to be dramatic and him also trying to make big expressions for the audience to be able to see it.
Exactly, yeah.
And it's so damn school play with him.
Yeah,
it's like,
right. Yeah.
Anybody else, like with The Rock or Stone Cold or even like CM Punk or AJ Styles or something along the lines, like it's exaggerated for like a huge audience to be able to see what's going on.
Yeah.
But it's not like a look at the I look at the crowd like, huh?
Yeah.
What do I do?
Right.
Should I blah blah blah? It's like if you don't get that Shakespeare in the Park ass gestures out of here, man.
Oh, my first death of a salesman looking ass.
But I mean, he puts on good matches regardless. But it's just like them expressions and gestures he does when he's working the crowd annoys me sometimes.
It's funny.
Oh, last little bit. Mm-hmm. I think I might have put my foot in my mouth at work.
Okay.
Because there was this guy at work. And I can't remember if he was showing off his shoes or he was doing something with his balance in front of like two people. Mm-hmm. And I was talking about it. And I was walking by. I had some food in my hand. I was just trying to pass.
Yeah.
When I was sitting there saying, I was like, hey, looks like you're doing a sobriety test for a second there. And off the top of my head, I can't remember what he said. He chuckled. And I was like, blah, blah, blah. And then the person one of the women he was talking to was in there going like, oh yeah, he's actually an alcoholic. And I was like, oh.
That's not even foot in the mouth. That's just like,
Dang,
that's like the equivalent of like when do you
kick myself basically. That's
like the equivalent of with a woman going like, when do you do? Like, I'm not pregnant. Oh, like this head explodes.
But she didn't really need to put it like unless that was a joke. I hope that was a joke because one, what are you doing telling his business out there like that? And two, why are you saying it with such authority?
Yeah, it might have been a joke, or she might have been. She might have realized the awkwardness and was just like, I can taste it, and she was just like, he actually is an alcoholic, and then she just turned
used to be, or used to be, or something like that.
And in her head,
he actually used to be an alcoholic, and I was listening to like,
and as she walked away, she was just like, yes, the awkwardness. I taste it. It tastes so good.
The cringe is sustaining me. Yeah, it's just like, fuck.
Yeah, you could have one upped it. You could have one upped it by going, so drinks later.
Oh man.
Wait, it was was it Thursday when I did that? Because that would have been a perfect little Thirsty Thursday joke. Yeah.
Could have called him, yeah.
I could have did a Thirsty Thursday joke on
Thirsty
after that
Thursday.
bit. But no, it was just the shock of like, wait, she was joking, right? And I was like, and then I sit there and turn to my desk like.
You just start running away.
Yeah, it was like, well, no, I said to put my food down at when I got to my desk, and then went to the bathroom, and like the whole time thinking, wait, it's like how could that situation have been handled?
What just happened?
How could I have handled that situation better?
That's funny.
Did everything it's like she was joking, right? I hope she was joking. Because fuck, I sat there and just pulled some.
Oh goodness! Oh man, that was great. Well.
That was my week.
Well, that was good. And that's it.
That'll be the episode. Fuck it.
Yeah, that was my week. That'll be the episode. That was great. I don't know what happened. I don't know what just happened. I know it started with some cats.
Yeah.
We talked about some horror movies. And we talked about a few other things. Military superhero. Yeah. Talked about Captain America a little bit.
Yeah. Sugar-free Trump.
Yeah. Sugar-free Trump. Donald Trump, yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
I know we're about to wrap.
Yeah.
I know we're about to wrap, but I ended up on BTG's BTG for President's podcast.
Nice.
Okay.
And it was one of those. I was driving down the street, got a Skype call, took the call.
That's great.
And so, if y'all get a chance, do feedback or any of the OAF crew or everybody out there in Oakland.
Yeah.
The question was, who was the best? Everything just died?
No, you're fine.
Sorry.
You're fine.
Go ahead.
You're fine.
Oh, okay. I was
fine.
like, uh-oh.
I accidentally double clicked when I was trying to search
BTG.
I was trying to search BTG and I accidentally.
For the listener, any sound effect is usually a look of horror for a moment. Because either the Skype dies or the camera does something or
like something went bad.
Yeah, something went off.
Real bad.
Something went off. Everything has a sound effect. But no, what were you saying?
Who was the best hot boy in the 90s? Who was the best hot boy? And so he is still taking feedback. So if you want to throw in your opinion, write him at BTG.
Very nice.
I think it's BTG for President, something like that.
Yeah.
If not, write us. I'll talk to him or whatever. But I'm on there, and I think I had to go with Wayne forever.
Okay.
But
for the 90s.
Well, I didn't
forever.
understand the question at first. So I was like, if we're doing all history, it's Wayne. Like the best of the hot boys is Wayne.
Yeah. Right.
The 90s.
That makes sense.
One of us said Wayne. The other one made a case for BG, and we even threw Juvie in there. But then the second thing is, what is the best album from the Hot Boys from the 90s?
That's a hole in my knowledge base. I'd have to check them out.
Oh yeah, I have to do my research or re-remember shit. Yeah.
So check that out. Yeah. So that was one random thing.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Hey.
That's what's up.
I'm with it, man.
Well, in all your cat feeding and journeying in the car that you've done today, we appreciate you joining us as always, brother.
Oh, I think
I know you've been running around like trying to like still be on the line like while you were doing stuff. So
yeah, man, I've been domesticated today. I've fed cats and cleaned boxes and
very nice
and made food. Like I'm productive, man.
Cool. Tell them where they can find you, brother.
So you can find me pulling up at people's houses, feeding cats and pets, things like that on my off days. But if you want to find me any other time besides that, you can find me in these internet streets on Twitter at LLCoolB22. That's COOLB22. That's Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. If you add me if you know my real name and want to add me on Facebook, you might want to say who the hell you are, because I still will leave you on the waiting list.
Right.
And forget about it. Right. So, come holler at me. Ask me questions. We talk shit, talk games, things, stuff like that.
Very good, very good. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm at K and Kid Swift on Twitter. I'm at Future ASC on Instagram. And like he said on Facebook, if you know me, come find me. And lastly, Webb, what are your credentials?
Well, I have a basic manufacturer certificate in electronics.
Very nice.
And my social, Web859 on Twitter, Web.859 on Instagram. Snapchat's whatever at this moment. Don't worry about it. Yep. I'm just there to creep. For them, those premium, it's like premium previews of.
Dude, the funniest thing I saw on Twitter, like one of the funniest things I saw this week was somebody was like, "What the hell is a premium Snapchat?" And somebody just said porn. I was like, "Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
What it sounds like.
Pretty much nailed it."
Exactly.
Yeah.
So awesome. Don't worry about that. Web859 on Twitter, web.859 on Instagram, at OAF Discussions on Twitter, OAF Discussions at Gmail, OAFDiscussions.com for any links. Follow us on any and all podcast platforms you can think of.
Yep.
If there is a platform that you are usually using and we are not on there, let us know and we'll see what we can do to get OAF Discussions on there.
Yeah, buddy. So, guys, as always, thank you guys for joining us each and every week here at OAF Discussions. We will see you guys next time. Peace.
Deuces.
What up, Shayna?
What up, dude?
And shut up.
Ladies and gentlemen, that has been OAF Discussions. Please listen to us on Podbean, iTunes, Google Play now, Stitcher, audio episodes on YouTube as well. And so that's all we have today. Thank you very much for listening, and you enjoy the rest of your day.
Appreciate it. Peace.
There we are. OAF Discussions pioneers.
Quickly
confirmed.
Make the meme and then put the @ big thing on there with the stupid little graphic like every other goddamn internet comedian does. We got to get these views, baby.